Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. That's the opening line for my YouTube channel. The Copper King Mine and Railroad is this HO model layout, and it's based on the workings of Bingham Canyon Mine. At the end of each video it says keep Bingham's history alive. Now it's your chance to do that by purchasing my new Arcadia book, Bingham Canyon. It will be in the stores July 1st, 2024. This week it's Chapter 6, Main Street, so stay tuned.
Bingham Canyon, Chapter 6, Main Street. After Markham Gulch, we enter Bingham's business district. There's no real separation above Frogtown, just Main Street running up the canyon. Houses, boarding houses, and stores line Main Street. Businesses and parking garages. This overhead view is looking up Main Street from Bingham Central Grade School, once Bingham High School. That's bottom left. This early image of Main Street will change many times over the coming years. Notice the water trough. Early Bingham Canyon was filled with horses and mules. It is estimated that from 1880 until 1890, there were over 1,000 horses and mules in Bingham Canyon. And what comes with all those horses? Stables, corrals, blacksmith shops, hay cells. These all filled early Bingham Canyon. Is that a horse laying in the middle of the road? Well, then here's one with a cow in the road. Then some images when cars and horses shared the same road. Well, for a short time. By the time this picture was taken in 1918, cars have pretty much taken over Bingham Canyon. Main Street was paved in 1928, so that's one of the ways to date some of these early photographs. Fire on Main Street, August 17, 1924. A fire broke out at 1:45 a.m. in the basement of the Boulgard butcher shop. Suspect was a defective fuse in the electric ammonia refrigeration plant. Destroyed were the Bingham garage, doctor offices and residence, a shoe shop, union hall, boarding houses, and 4 homes. 2 firemen lost their lives. 1 fireman was severely burned when the union hall's roof collapsed. Looking down Main Street after the August 24th fire, the destroyed buildings were made out of wood. They went up in flames instantly. Estimated property value was $100,000. Many were not insured or were underinsured. A positive note was this area was rebuilt shortly, this time with brick or cement structures. I love this picture of this old fire truck. Construction of the new post office, 1933. A large parcel of land from the 1924 fire will remain vacant for 9 years. The first post office was built in 1870 in the building just above the junction of Main and Carfort. The second post office was on the ground floor of the Golden Rule store, later to become J.C. Penney. The third was at Social Hall. It had a roof awning. It was at this location in the 1920s. Then the last at 407 Main, in that empty lot from the fire. These images show constructions of the Bingham post office. When constructing buildings in Bingham, the first thing was to build a large retaining wall along the back. This was a must in Bingham, since the mountain was always coming down. The new post office was built on the south side of the canyon. The building next to it was Granite Furniture, the fourth in the branch of chain of stores. Constructing the 1933 post office at 407 Main Street. Bingham's residents said it was the most handsome building on Main Street. The post office and surrounding buildings were made of brick and cement, a direct result of the 1924 fire on Main Street. Photograph of the inside construction of the post office. The architects were Scott and Welch, the same who planned the community and houses of Copperton. Looking down on the back side of the post office, across the street is the Utah Copper Hospital, also known as Kennecott Copper's Clinic. That's top right. The first offices and residence of the doctors were destroyed in the 1924 fire on Main Street. The new hospital will be built shortly after. Some of the first doctors were Dr. Russell Fraser, H.C. Jenkins, and dentist Dr. B.D. Benyon. He had the upstairs office. This photograph shows Bingham's mailman on horseback delivering mail, passing standard garage and storage. Parking was a problem because of the narrow street. Parking garages were built all along Main Street. Bingham's mailman delivered mail on horseback. The route was all uphill. It was the last place in the country to do so. Looking up Main Street in the 1950s, some of the stores and businesses in this section of Main Street were AG Grocery Store, Union Rexall Drug, and Utah Power and Light offices, Bogan Hardware, Bingham's Meat, and the Mascot Apartments, Bingham Drug, Bingham Bulletin, and Burke's Furniture Store, Bingham Radio Shop, and the Bingham Hospital. Businesses will come and go along this strip of Main Street. Looking down Main Street from the other direction, the Bingham Hospital is in the center of the photograph. Dr. Paul S. Richards came to Bingham in 1923. He took over the hospital that had been started by Dr. Straub. Dr. Richards worked tirelessly with the community, helping to improve conditions. He would be known as the father of occupational health in Utah, working to reduce injuries and fatalities among the miners. Dr. Paul Richards spent his first days in the hospital cleaning. He focused on the operating room. With soap and brush he purchased at JCPenney, he cleaned all morning. Good thing, in less than 48 hours, he'll have 2 operations to perform. Dr. Paul Richards developed new techniques in back surgery, used worldwide. So that's Chapter 6, Main Street in the book Bingham Canyon.